Hello, beautiful people. How's everyone doing? I want to make a very special video which has been requested by quite a number of people, and I'm probably going to do more videos on this topic because I think it's going to add a lot of value to you and your life and your business, as well as just being a really fun topic for me to speak about and sometimes, to share different reflections. So the topic that a lot of people have asked me to talk about is how were the early days and how could you keep your focus through challenges? How did the company grow, or the companies that we have grow, to be able to get a certain amount of success to a certain point where you know that it's running smoothly and you can continue to grow. And so that's why I wanted to make this video, because I think it's very important that people realize that if you have a dream, that you are able to realize that dream no matter what your situation is, no matter where you are at, no matter what sometimes people around you may say, good or bad. And yeah, if you have a dream, it's possible to create that dream. You just have to believe in it. So I'm very excited. So let's talk about a few things on this video, and then we'll probably carry over to a few other videos talking about, different aspects of it. So today specifically, I want to speak about focus, because when it's, when you're growing something, it requires a lot of focus. And one of the things that I've always really, taken pride in the last 8.5 years in growing to multi-million-dollar businesses, one of which we are now actively growing even further, which is Freedom Lifestyle Creators, as you can see here behind me, has been to focus and not to be distracted by a lot of other opportunities that are floating around. And I think that is also a big part of why sometimes people that have everything that you possibly need to be able to make your life successful and to grow your business, or to, make a substantial amount of extra income, why they are not making it, or not making it yet, is because there's a lot of distraction. And I remember, especially when I started, I got really, really good education. And that education, if you're making notes, definitely write this down, was on two very important areas. It was marketing and sales. And that is such a no-brainer to me right now, but it doesn't always make full sense to everybody. And that's why today in this topic of focus, I want to talk about it, because in the beginning, when I got started, I had no idea what was going to be my business. The only thing that I did know was that I could help people, and that I was extremely passionate and determined to do something big. And I knew that also I was capable of it, even though I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was just this feeling, and I like to describe that a lot at our events, Project 1 Million in 1 year, for instance. That is it's that feeling that you're destined for more, even though you have no idea how to channel that energy, or where to focus on, or what are exactly the steps to take. But I just had that feeling. So I'm not sure if anyone can resonate with this. If you do, comment below, because that's a nice topic as well to talk about more. And I'm really, really, really interested to see what you guys will be commenting, and like the things that anyone for that matter is going through. What is your next level? What are you looking to achieve for yourself? But I remember that I had that very, very strong feeling, and I committed to investing in a mentor, Master Kashna. By that time had a different name, and I just said, I'm gonna listen, tell me what to do, teach me the trades, and then I'll figure out, I can do this, I can do that, I can do the other, as long as it's good. That was very important, obviously. I don't want to make money doing anything that is not good. So that's why my saying is, do whatever good it takes, not do whatever it takes. But then I'll be serious, and I'll go and focus and do what I have to do in order to do that goodness, make that impact, and make the money. So I remember that in the beginning, the first things that I learned was marketing and sales. So in the core, like, what do these two things mean? In essence, in my way of interpreting business, and by the way, just for you to know, I'm nowhere near where I want to be and where I will be in the next couple of years, but I do think that what is super, super important, especially for those of you that are wanting to build a conscious business and be a conscious entrepreneur, is that you understand that the core of entrepreneurship is serving people and making a difference and doing something good. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't businesses around that actually do the opposite of that. There are plenty of businesses, unfortunately, that actually contribute to a whole bunch of the destructive things, rather. But I think for those of you that are aware that, how do you say, that there's more to life than just the success, not saying that success isn't very important and very powerful and ultimately even a form of self-love, but there's a lot more in this world. Like, you're basically, if you're playing this game of life, there are so many more factors than just the success factor. There's the factor of, like, what is your intention? How do you treat people? How are you engaging yourself in situations? Is your intention pure, positive, and good? Are you adding value to people? So especially for conscious entrepreneurs, which I believe everybody here would be listening to this, it's important that at the core of entrepreneurship lies helping people, surfacing people, making a difference to people, solving people's problems. So what in that context, to me, is sales and marketing. Well, let me start by sales, because especially on our events, Project 1 Million in 1 Year, we speak about it a lot, is that for me, and also for those mentors that I have worked with prominently, this is the same thing. Like, sales is that spiritual process. And this is the same thing that everyone, again, prominently, that has been mentoring me, whether that's my dad, whether it's Master Shri Akashna, whether that's Grant Cardone, they always talk about it in that same light as well. It's about that you understand that people are, a lot of the time, well, actually all of the time, even if they do not see it and their behavior might not be like it, special, and everyone has something beautiful and good to offer. And that, in the way how we describe it in Project 1 Million in 1 Year, that sales is a spiritual process of you empowering someone else to see a better future and moving them towards it. So it's very much that process of bringing a form of enlightenment in whichever area your business will be in. So if you're, let's just say, a health coach, for instance, then you're bringing people enlightenment about different things that people can do to live a more healthy life. Or in the case, if you are a business consultant, that you're helping people getting more clarity on what they can do and also what not to do when you want to grow your business or business empire. And so forth, no matter what your business is, that you're helping people see more clearly what is the path towards their desired outcome. And in our case, in the name of good, the good outcome that people want to reach. And so that's that process. And not everybody may agree with me on this one. I'm just referring to an inside joke. For me, marketing and sales is pretty much the same thing. It's just executed in a different way, but it has the purpose there for you really to get to know, how do you add value to people? How do you communicate to people? How do you listen to people? And really start building that relationship with people so that you are able to bring them that solution, which ultimately could be your way of getting business. And so one of the things that we always say to our students and what we recommend to our students is to really focus and hone in on those skills and to, learn the trade of marketing, learn the trade of sales, but doing it not just in the fact of like, I'm learning, I'm making notes, even though that's obviously part of it, but also truly learning through implementation. And so again, one of the things that we find extremely important in the education process that we provide in FLC is that you are choosing, and we have a very simple process of figuring out and choosing which business is most scalable and most suitable for you in your own unique way of what your history has been and what your interests are and your passions and your experience and all of these things. And then making that choice and then going all in on that, learning, deeply learning, and getting results with marketing and sales and truly the impacting of people, such that then with those skills you can do anything in life, and there's all these different opportunities for you to be able to create multiple symbiotic streams of income. And I just want to show you guys this is super cute. Here's Goku having a little nap as I'm making this video. So that was something super important, and what we have also incorporated in the way how we help people. And then for me, as I also in my journey early on, my first year in business, picked my thing, which by the way, the first thing that I picked wasn't the thing that I ended up doing. I chose happiness coaching because people always said to me like, oh, you're so happy. Can you teach me how to be so happy, so smiley, all of these things. So I focused on that, and I was doing the marketing and the sales around that. But then I actually shifted to what I'm currently doing, which is helping people to get their message out and to monetize from that message, and really to be able to deeply impact people and set up a business. And then later on, in much bigger sense, creating business empires. But the thing I think, what I really want to mention here in this video specifically for those of you that are in the beginning stages of your business and you're working really hard at it, is that sometimes in the beginning things are not always as easy, and there might be ups and downs because you're learning. And so what is really tough these days with all of these, this is how to do it, this is how not to do it, like those types of things that are constantly being shouted, even though actually everything works, as long as it's like a relatively smart thing, that you don't get distracted by that and you just keep doing the right thing. Also, in that respect, it's very helpful to have a mentor, so that when even you and with your mind and your limited perception, because you haven't seen the real successes yet, that you can lean on that person's experience, and that person saying to you like, hey, everything's going to be okay, just keep doing this, you're doing the right thing, this is part of it, just keep going. And that part is so super important, because if you do not focus and you're not consistent in doing the doings, as Seb Williams always says, then the results are not necessarily going to come, because when the results come is not the predictable factor. You cannot say, oh, it's going to come on day 4 or day 10 or day 100. You cannot predict that. But what you can predict is that if you keep doing the doings, the results will come at the time that is directly correlated with the amount of effort and consistency that you put in. And so what I see a lot of the time, young as in new business owners and entrepreneurs struggle with, is that they are constantly being distracted. Oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Or they commit to one thing and then they're doing it for a little bit, not seeing the result instantly, and then jumping to something else thinking that, oh no, now that's the shiny object, like the shiny object syndrome. But that's not going to work. It's not going to benefit you. Also, the idea of that you need multiple income streams at the beginning is messing up people's minds in a certain sense as well. You do not want to do that. You want to focus on getting one solid, big, self-reliant income stream that allows you to have great amounts of financial freedom, then leading into financial power. And then you want to create the next income stream, but in a way that Grant Cardone says, as a symbiotic income stream, not something that is something completely different, but something that is even fueled by the efforts of the first one. And that part, again, a lot of the time people watch YouTube videos, here's a YouTube video, and they may, hear different tips from a lot of different people. And a lot of the time those tips are good tips, but you have to take them into context as well. So when there's this billionaire or multimillionaire or anyone that has multiple income streams says, hey, you need to diversify your income. Like, yeah, in essence, the core of that message is correct, because you don't want to rely on just one income stream, but you cannot build multiple income streams in the beginning whilst you're still learning and whilst you're still making sure that your income is increasing and that you are able to pay for all of the expenses that you have and all of these things. So the biggest message that is here in this video is make sure that in the beginning you focus, you keep determined on one thing, find some way for you to determine what that thing, that first thing is, and learn the art of marketing and sales. And when you do that, you start getting results. And then as you're getting results, you will learn, or you should learn, how to then expand that and how to grow that and how to allow that to amplify so that you can get to the stage of financial freedom and financial power.